The year was 598. The emperor of the Sui dynasty had a problem. People on his eastern border were complaining that some little kingdom next door kept raiding their towns. The emperor was annoyed that a small kingdom would be so arrogant. He was also annoyed that this kingdom refused to become a vassal state of the empire, instead choosing to assert its equality. And so the Sui emperor thought it would be a good idea to bring the might of his empire down upon this fledgling state. This small kingdom was Koguryo, of course. He launched an invasion in 598. To his surprise, his army suffered heavy losses, but it came out victorious. The king of Koguryo was forced to join the Sui dynasty's tributary system, making Koguryo a vassal of the Sui. Years later, another emperor sat on the Sui throne, and he also had a problem, and his problem was also named Koguryo. The kingdom of Koguryo was growing stronger, and the emperor was afraid this would encourage dissension in neighboring states. And so, like his predecessor, he launched a campaign against Koguryo. He expected swift justice, but turned out he would have to invade Koguryo 3 times in 3 years. Invasion 1 was a disaster. The Sui army trudged home after losing 99% of its men. Invasion 2 also failed. Invasion 3 was kind of a win, maybe? After some fierce battles and name-calling, the Koguryo king was like, Alright, you're the boss. Let's stop fighting and I'll swear fealty to you, I promise. The Sui emperor accepted and withdrew his troops. Funny enough, Koguryo never showed up afterwards to swear fealty, which pissed off the emperor, who almost launched another invasion. Koguryo got the last laugh though. These invasions were so costly to the Sui that it sparked outrage and rebellions within the empire, ultimately leading to the Sui dynasty's decline and fall. In 618, rebels seized the throne and founded a new dynasty, the Tang. From these wars, we can see that Koguryo was surprisingly strong, able to hold its own against the massive Sui dynasty. The new Tang dynasty really wanted to restore China to its former glory, which included the northern Korean peninsula region. But they saw what happened to the Sui and thought, yeah, let's not mess with Scrappy-Doo over there right now. The Korean kingdoms were pretty welcoming to the new dynasty. They quickly joined Tang's tributary system. Japan eventually did too. Tang and Japan were like new friends getting to know each other. They excitedly sent envoys back and forth. This was the time when Prince Shotoku sent students to China to study its culture and government, eventually using Tang as a model for his reforms. Things were quiet for a while, allowing Tang culture to spread to the Korean peninsula and Japan. But because you can't have nice things in this world, the Korean kingdoms started attacking each other again, even though they were all under the Tang tributary system. The Tang already distrusted Koguryo, thought it was too aggressive. One day, Koguryo decided it was a good idea to build a monument to honor those killed in the wars with the Sui dynasty. The Tang emperor said, "How dare you insult China like this?" and sent forces to destroy the monument and bring back the remains of dead Sui soldiers. Koguryo thought, oops, we poked the bear again, and prepared for a Tang invasion. They weren't taking chances. They built more than 1,000 forts and tried to patch things up with Paekche. Koguryo and Paekche sent envoys to Japan to offer tribute and appeal for help in case the Tang invaded. Paekche did its favorite thing, of course, and offered a member of its royal family to Japan as a hostage. Everyone at the time heard the drumbeat of war in the distance, a coming war that would change the peninsula forever. In 643, the Tang emperor ordered Paekche and Koguryo to stop attacking Silla. In 645, Koguryo ignored the order. The emperor used this as a justification to attack. Remember, 645 was also the year of the Soga coup in Japan and the beginning of the Taika reforms. The Tang, like the Sui before them, learned that Koguryo was one tough puppy. Food ran low and winter was coming, so the Tang were forced to retreat. By 650, Silla was bloody and bruised from the beating it endured at the hands of the other 2 states. It requested aid from the Tang, who agreed, and they formed a Tang-Silla alliance. If the leaders of Paekche, Koguryo, and Japan were each drinking a glass of water at that moment, the water would have exploded out their mouths. Now everyone was convinced that China wanted to take over the peninsula. Japan enjoyed good relations with Paekche. They didn't want it to fall. They were also terrified that the Tang would come after Japan next. The alliance was a logical move for Silla because it had no friends in the region. In 655, Tang and Silla kicked off a campaign against Koguryo. The Japanese historical text recorded an event which showed that Tang China was well versed in the politics of the region. It said that around this time, Japan sent a diplomatic mission to China. The envoys stayed in the capital and the Tang emperor received them graciously. However, one day, the emperor had all of the Japanese diplomats arrested. They soon dropped the charges, but forbade them from leaving the capital. They were only released after almost a year of house arrest, or capital arrest. When the envoys returned to Japan, they shocked the Japanese court. Why did the Tang block the envoys from returning? Because they didn't want them revealing what had happened earlier that year. The Tang knew the Japanese would have sent military help to Paekche if they had heard the news. You see, earlier that year, Tang and Silla coordinated an invasion of, not Koguryo, but of Paekche. They entered the Paekche capital and ousted the ruling family. Paekche, as an independent kingdom, was no more. Hey, I just want to thank the new patrons, Barry Alexander and Jed Henry. You're awesome. Also, let me know in the comments which country you think will win after this war. Now, if you already know, then just shh, don't spoil it. But if you didn't know, then leave a comment.